Hi. Sorry
How's it
that
going?
my friend James.
That's okay. Sorry for the technical difficulty or delay. I'm glad that we finally made it work.
All good. Number one, before we talk about anything else, I saw that you are watching The Crown right now.
Yeah, well, I was, but I finished it immediately.
Yeah, I spent my whole weekend doing that.
Yeah,
I have like 2 episodes left.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. The chick who plays Diana, she's
legit. She's serious.
And it's, pardon?
She said she's serious. Okay.
No, it is not. Maybe turn your Wi-Fi off. That's what I did. Nope.
Awesome.
Are you there? Okay, maybe.
Yeah,
I don't know if you have your Wi-Fi on.
It's off now.
I can now, yeah. Oh. We're stuck. It's a little better. But I can hear you. Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay, great. That's good.
So what's up? Where are you?
Oh no, is it so bad? Is the connection so bad?
Yeah.
I'm praying. This seems better.
Yes, this is definitely better.
Woo! Okay, thank God. I'm glad we sorted that.
So where are you located right now?
I'm in LA. I'm home in LA. And yeah, it's getting cold. Where are you?
I'm in Charlottesville, Virginia.
Awesome.
And it's in the 60s today, but it's going to get down to the 40s tomorrow. So
that is so brutal, and now I regret saying it's cold here because that doesn't.
Oh, I'm from Boston, so this is like balmy compared to theirs. So.
Yeah, exactly. My mom's family is from the East Coast, so I've been to Boston a ton in the winter, and it's like bone-chilling cold. Yeah.
Yeah, I went through 3 car mirrors one winter, because people just kept hitting them because there was so much snow.
Oh.
It was like, I'm parked. It was 9 feet of snow that year, and it was like,
damn,
piles and piles, and then you had to park in the street, and then like they were coming.
That's so hectic.
The mechanic was like, "What'd you do again?" And I was like, "Not push my car mirror in."
That's so funny. Yeah.
But anyway.
Yeah.
So for anyone who might not be familiar with you, though I'm sure that they are because you have a lot of Instagram followers, but for anyone who might not be, describe your sound in 1 sentence, please.
Oh man. I guess like pretty like oversharing, like a lot of like just oversharing detail about my like heart and feelings and that kind of thing. I guess it's like it falls under slightly, or maybe just with what's out, the more like singer songwriter-y universe, but I think that's just because that was the kind of like foundation of the music that I wanted to put out first, but definitely just too honest, probably.
How does it feel when you are performing those songs for other humans, or just when you first put them out into the world too, and you're like, here's my whole...
Yeah, I mean, I've still not done any actual like in-person shows based on the circumstances of this year, and having had like debilitating stage fright for my entire life, which I feel like I was lucky enough to kind of like get over in doing virtual shows on Zoom in place of an actual tour. I did shows from my bedroom here, and got to like see the faces of people in different cities and the whole thing, and that was amazing, and being able to like play those songs and tell those stories kind of with an actual audience in 2020 was cool and weird and like nerve-wracking, but also like made me feel a lot more like weirdly validated in the things I was writing about because of how kind of like responsive the crowd was in terms of like, I've been through this, or I have said this exact thing once verbatim, you know what I mean? Just that kind of like connection was a really new and cool thing for me to experience, for sure.
That's cool. I didn't think about that as like those shows as like being a warm-up kind of a deal. And
oh, for sure. Also, like the comfort, like doing it within the comfort of my literal home and being able to like get into bed right after, if that's what I wanted to do, was really great, because I definitely like carried the nerves through the rest of my day sometimes for the first couple shows, and then started feeling like just more comfortable in the practice of doing it. But I have very little experience in terms of performing.
I feel like that would almost be like more vulnerable though. Like I remember when I first went to college and I had like I was in like a double, and I was like, I don't want people to come hang out in my bedroom. Like that's not what I do with people.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I mean, I feel like I had always kind of like shared, you know, it was almost just like the step above what I've always shared on my Instagram, I guess, of that space, just because I write in there mostly always. And so it was familiar to a lot of people, which was cool and weird, I guess, when you think about that. But like cool for these purposes. I had a great time, so I was lucky.
And what's the rest of your origin story? You wrote songs in your bedroom and
wrote songs in my bedroom. I just did that. I've done that like forever, since elementary school, because it was like my outlet of like feeling like I could process feelings and being kind of more generally introverted, so not really talking about my like experiences very often publicly, and more just like internalizing everything and then writing it down for myself and no one else. And then I started posting those clips once I was allowed social media. Just kind of very like impulsively like going and doing that, and then walking away from my phone. And I went to New York for school for a year, and then decided to come back home, and I signed and started putting music out. And like it's just been a very interesting, like such a strange year to do it, but a really kind of, I don't know, I think there are like highs and lows to releasing music in any capacity during quarantine, because it's like it feels like a very insulated, like kind of vacuum of an experience, but at the same time like having the downtime in this house to like process that and write more and all the things. It's just been a very interesting year, but I feel super lucky for sure.
What was kind of, especially since you were saying that you have stage fright and everything, what was kind of the kick in the ass to like share your songs?
Well, I never had trouble posting anything online, because it was the opposite of like performing, in terms of I could hit a button and pretend like it never even existed. And I loved doing that. Like I got very comfortable. I was kind of like, I was raised in the era of like the instant gratification of hitting the button and knowing that it's there, but not having to like confront it necessarily. So I got really comfortable, and I guess like, so releasing music was never a scary thing for me. And it's still like, weirdly, I don't know why, but I've never put out anything and felt like genuinely nervous. Like I get the emotion in like this with the music. It's like I just feel most emotional when I'm actually doing the writing, and then once that's done, I'm like, I've done like the hard work of being most immediately vulnerable, and then it feels less intense once it's actually out. But maybe a part of that is having not like actually seen people face to face and like had the show experience and felt super emotional about music being out in that capacity. But who knows? How
did you start to gain traction?
I don't,
because I am about to be 30 years old, so I had a MySpace and I had AIM. I have no idea how to like get Instagram famous.
I don't fucking know. I don't know. I wish I knew. Like I really just started posting like clips of my music, and it was a really cool group of like like I remember just like the first like handful of people to comment that I didn't know, like strangers I didn't know, and comment on the music, and I am like connecting with people about music period, but like especially if it's about like my own personal experiences, was a really cool like kind of gateway for me to start interacting really directly and often with the people that were following me. And so I don't know, I guess maybe like the kind of like messaging with the constant like of songs. It was the service spot again. Can you hear me? Can you hear me okay?
I can now, yeah, but I totally missed what you just said.
Okay, it was all bullshit anyway, so it doesn't matter.
And while you started writing songs in 5th grade, I was writing like Lord of the Rings fan fiction in 5th grade. So
we've all been there.
What made you kind of think, oh, this is what? Oh, I'm 11 and I'm having emotions. Let me write a song about them.
Because my parents, like when I was growing up, they played like great songwriters growing up in the house, and I was really honestly just paying attention to my surroundings, I guess, and realizing that people were using music as an outlet, and I felt super like touched like by like Joni Mitchell and her feelings, and I was just like, wow, she went there, she did this to like get herself to a place where she could say these things, and I just felt super fascinated by it. And especially like it kind of like listening to her music at the same time of like becoming very just consciously like aware of new feelings, like being a young kid, I kind of just tried to like smush the two together and see what happened. But I mean, it's so much of it is like the majority of all the songs ever that I've written are so embarrassing, so they definitely were nothing special. But I'm glad that I got into the practice of like writing down my feelings ever anyway, because it's helped me so much, obviously outside of just music. It's like it's such a cathartic experience, I feel. So yeah.
Do you want to play one of those songs? Not necessarily one of the ones from 5th grade, but if you do.
Yes, for sure. I'm like, hey, yeah. Let me know if the connection is so shitty at any point, and I'll try to get my situation sorted. But I will play. I'll play Stay first. Word. I'm gonna just try to prop it. Also, tell me if the sound. Just tell me if anything's bad, and I'll try to fix it.
I shall.
Yeah.
You told me something when I left, but I don't remember. Maybe 'cause all I could do then was stare at the floor. I held myself 'cause you wouldn't wrap it in my sweatshirt. Wonder if you even noticed that one was yours. Maybe I should have, but I never told you. I'm sorry. I almost said it, my words always got in the way. Could you hold me without any talking? We could try to go back where we started. I don't even have to stay. I don't even have to stay. No, if I woke up with you in the morning, I'd forget all the ways that were broken now. I don't care if you've changed. I don't even have to stay, no. I don't remember the last time I heard from your sister. Didn't expect to, but I sort of thought that I would. Wish I could tell you by now that I felt more indifferent, but I still catch myself thinking about you more than I should. Maybe I should have, but I never told you I miss you. I almost said it, but don't know if you feel the same. Could you hold me without any talking? We could try to go back where we started. I don't even have to stay. I don't even have to stay. But if I woke up with you in the morning, I'd forget all the ways that were broken now. I don't care if you've changed. I don't even have to stay, no. That's stay.
I really love the sweatshirt line in that song, and I think like the sweatshirt and the t-shirt situation, I'm like, that is so, that's something that happens all the time.
That is something that happens. Yeah.
Oh,
Thanks for tolerating.
Oh, I'm sorry to whoever's about to cry right now.
Oh no!
And
Don't cry.
Is it my face? Is that why you're gonna cry? What's the story behind that song?
Ooh, the story behind the song is after a relationship ended, feeling like basically I wrote it really quickly because it felt just like a very immediate, like I needed to say the things, and I felt like I was on the other side of a very long relationship that was a huge part of my life and super kind of like two worlds, very like integrated and intertwined, and feeling immediately detached from all of those things and confused about it, despite the fact that like you understand why, but you're so like just torn on the inside for every reason. Every detail just like hurts so bad, and you almost like want it back, and you don't care if it's different because the second of it is better than like none of it ever again.
Does that person know that song is
Yes.
about them?
Yes. Oh yes. Yeah.
And that's off of your EP Minor. It's been out since July. What did number one, what was that like when all of those were when all of that was finally out, the whole EP? Was it different from when you released one song at a time?
For sure, because I also think there are some like elements production wise even in certain songs that I hadn't like really explored with the singles that had been out at that point. And I mean, everything, like it's the first time I've ever released a body of work, so that also meant a lot to me. And I kind of like was thinking about it not only as like what is the story, but also like what foundation am I setting for myself to release future songs. And I'm glad that the EP is as kind of like, it's pretty, the like production elements for the most part are pretty like, they're it's pretty bare, which I really love, because that to me is like, I just appreciate more than anything when I can play songs on the guitar and they feel as impactful to me as they would if they had a full, like, you know, production behind it. And so it felt good.
What was the process behind making it?
Really unexpected, because I had, with the exception of like 2 of the songs, they all came together within a week and a half that I set aside to just like have time to be in the studio and work. And the whole EP came together really quickly. And by the end of the week, having like written on a like whiteboard just all the songs, I kind of like, we sat down and we're like, well, actually I think this is the project, which was really cool. And it was fascinating, and it was also nothing like what the process is making the album right now. It's like very different, kind of like more, I guess, slightly more calculated version of putting a body of work together and like knowing what I want and knowing what I don't want, and just like I feel a significant amount of freedom having released Minor, and I'm glad that I did, you know, going into this next year. And I think it's a nice little supportive bed for me. Like, I like the song a lot, so I feel good.
What can you, are there any details you can give away about the album?
No, just that I'm like, it definitely sounds like a bit different from Minor for sure, which I'm so relieved about. It, like, I think it feels like a bit of a departure from certain like subject matter even, which is a relief, feeling like I'm done writing about a certain chapter of like my life, which I've never really like felt closure in that way before. But I think putting out an EP or any kind of body of work in any capacity like actually does that for you, which is crazy. I like thought that was a myth, but it's real.
Can you elaborate on the whole relieving situation?
Well, yeah, I mean, I feel I was spending like a lot of my time writing about the same experience because I had so much to say about it, because I was thinking about it so often that it was just like to put out the project and to not feel like, to know that I just never felt a sense of closure about this particular experience. And it's a huge relief to be able to like know that that's finished and to go into making music for really the first time that's not just about a relationship. And I'm excited because it's also, I'm like able to explore songwriting almost a bit differently, because I'm relying on it now for a lot more than just the feelings of like stress or heartbreak or, you know, being like deeply in love. Like I'm in love with so many other things that are not people, that I'm like so thrilled to write about that.
Name drop.
I just feel like, lucky to be making new stuff.
What are you in love with that aren't people?
Oh, I loved being in school. I just love my friends. I love like going out with my friends and doing weird like shit. I don't know. I just like, there's so much that I did, I guess I'm realizing, like in the time that I was also going through a breakup, and like, but and now almost when I think about that period of time and I'm reflecting, considering how confined we all are this year, like being able to reflect back and thinking like, actually, I think that my breakup was really kind of like almost like background noise to the real life that I was in the middle of living when I was in New York with my new friends and all this, you know, whatever, this new like buzz, where I actually was writing just about the breakup all the time rather than like what's actually in front of me and what am I like. So now I'm really digging into that, which feels so good. And it makes me feel, you know, closer to New York and my friends that are across the country right now, and like, you know, in quarantine, different places all over. And so I just am having a really nice time kind of like being nostalgic and doing all that.
I dropped my pen. So you were at you were at Barnard? Is that where you were?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
What were you studying?
I was studying mass incarceration. So very different than music, which I was I mean, I like had the best time ever being there, and I felt so inspired by the community every single day. And New York is like, I feel like is my actual like home. So I'm sad that I'm not there anymore for 100 reasons, but it's not going anywhere. So, and I didn't drop out, so I will be going back for sure.
That's what I was going to ask. So you'll be going back to school, or do you think you'd just go back to New York in between?
Well, I'm like a very like in or out, like all or nothing kind of like person. Like my mind, I would feel very weird going back to school while also like making music like actively recording, because I know that I can be like 100% committed to both at the same time. So I don't know when I will be going back. I am so excited to whenever that day comes. I hope to live in New York as soon as possible, but also like it's a bit tough just because everybody that I work with lives in LA. So, but we'll see.
That is, that's definitely a setback there.
Exactly.
And so you couldn't tour like you were supposed to, and you've done the bedroom tour. What are you looking forward to most when you actually do get to get out on the road?
Oh, I mean, I really believe that I have really close relationships with the people that have been listening to my music for a while. And like I was saying, even when I originally started posting, you know, on Instagram or SoundCloud, it was like always a very kind of almost immediate back and forth between me and whoever happened to find the music. And so I literally feel like I've been waiting for years to like go on tour, but also to like meet these people, because I mean, they're actually out there, and it's crazy. And it almost feels like a pen pal situation in a way. And I know that that might be like a weird or like uncommon perspective on touring, because it's not necessarily solely about that. I'm excited for all things, but I'm really excited to finally meet everyone, because it feels like very long overdue. And I'm excited to get over my stage fright. I just like want to like, I love doing the bedroom shows so much. So I just feel anxious to get out now.
Just picture everybody naked. I've heard that works.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know how that would ever work. Every time I hear that, I'm like, how does that?
I know, I'm like, that makes it worse for me.
Somebody says that they're going to 5 shows, so I think that speaks to exactly what you were saying.
Hey, I don't even know how they found me. Hey guys, that's so funny.
But I don't want to take up too much of your time. But do you want to play one more song if you have a chance?
Yes, I do. Let me. I'm gonna try to move the camera again, because I think sometimes the sound gets a little interesting. Also, I apologize for all the. I'm like, it's very funny. Like, you get very comfortable like working from home and then being in like your sweats and like weird camera angles and then feeling professional. But thank you for your patience with me. All right. This is Friend. I played this song. So this song is was written. It's on electric guitar, but I'm like super. I'm learning electric, and I'm like really slowly learning it. So I'm trying to figure out this on acoustic guitar. So I apologize for the differences in the this version versus the actual version.
That's the coolest part, though.
I hope so. I hope so. Okay, this is Friend.
Pictures of the old days got me feeling older. Just thought you should know I never wanted closure. You had no problem leaving, and now I'm the one to feel it. I just can't believe you don't know what I'm feeling. Guess you got the best of this. Picking up the pieces, you just wanna leave home, killing me a little bit. And I hate the way you love me. and I hate that I still care. Funny how you feel like we would ever talk again. How could you think I'd be your friend? I'm sure you're doing fine, but I don't wanna hear it. And if I left my t-shirt, you can keep it. I don't wanna see you again if it's different, 'cause I'll only see all the things that I'm missing. I should've cut all the ties, but I didn't let go. I just can't believe you don't know what I'm feeling. You got the best of this. Picking up the pieces, you just wanna leave them, killing me a little bit. And I hate the way you love me, and I hate that I still care. It's so funny how you feel like we would ever talk again. How could you think I'd be your no problem leaving? And now I'm the one to feel it. I just can't believe you don't know what I'm feeling. Guess you got the best of this. Picking up the pieces, you just wanna leave them, killing me a little bit. And I hate the way you love me, and I hate that I still care. It's so funny how you feel like we would ever talk again. How could you think I'd be your friend?
Woo. Best friend. Super different from that. It's literally like so weird and hard. Like that's another thing I'm learning so much in recording anything ever is just how to work it, how to do things to make it like acceptable. Anyway, that's fair.
All right, well, I will let you get back to whatever you're doing before.
Thank you for your time. Thanks for having me on.
Thank you, of course, and hopefully when you do tour, you will come through here.
Oh, 100%.
And you can see
I
this
can't
view.
wait. No, I can't wait. Anytime you will have me, I'm there. Thank you so much.
Awesome.
Have a
Well,
good
I will
one.
talk to
Stay
you later.
safe. Yes, talk
You
soon.
too.
Bye.